What's up? What's up? Billy Carson here, aka Forbidden Knowledge. I'm live on the Tupac Remix Vault. I see a lot of people already getting in here into the chat. What's up, everyone? How y'all doing? Phenomenal. All right. Chat's filling up quick. I wanted to do something special for Tupac. A lot of people didn't understand Tupac Shakur. They didn't really get him, but a lot of people did. He resonated with so many people. His legacy is his ability to have a certain level of understanding about what everyone was going through, no matter what level they were on. He was extremely empathic, extremely empathic. He had the ability to feel things in a way that for me, no other rapper has ever been able to feel. And he can convey messages and stories in a way that no matter who you were, what you were doing, what your job title was, whether you were on the street or in a corporate office, his lyrics resonated with you and you felt them. And you can relate and transverse everything he was saying from the street life into your own life. And you could actually feel the essence of it. It lived through you. His lyrics became you. You play a movie in your head when his songs are playing. An entire movie is playing. The first time I knew how powerful Tupac was, it was 1994, and I went to a car wash, and I had just gotten a new car. And I took this car to this hand wash, and the guy is not even American. He's Russian. I could tell from the Russian accent. If you don't know, down in Miami, there's a lot of Russians. Even today, there's a lot of Russians. They pretty much own everything in Miami. But this guy owned this car wash. Well, his family did. He was one of the family members. He wasn't the owner, but he was one of the family. And he took my keys, and I was bumping Tupac. You have to leave your car on. It's just bumping. It's just thumping. And he gets in and he moves the car up, and he gets out and he comes over to me like he's all like frazzled. He's like, "Hey, you have to tell me, who is this on the radio? Who is this?" I said, "His name is Tupac Shakur. He's a rapper." He goes, Where can I find? I said, "Oh, just go to the record store. Just look for Tupac. You'll be able to buy his CDs." And the guy was like, "This guy is amazing." He only pulled my car up. He was in the car for not even a full minute, and it blew his mind. That's when I said, wow, Tupac has the power to transcend the hood. I didn't know it until that moment when I saw this older white Russian man freaking out about how can he find a Tupac CD. And he only heard for maybe 50 seconds. That's when I knew his vibration transcended age. It transcended race. It transcended generations. Okay? Powerful stuff. June 16th, 1971. Tupac would have been the same exact age that I am. Okay? This year we'd both turn 53. Because of his death, our image of him is always that same age, right? We always have that same vision of him. It never changes. He's been immortalized with that age that we last saw him. But you often wonder how powerful he would have been in today's time, in today's era, in this current era, with the way rap has gone, with the way acting has gone. And he just was a no-nonsense type of guy that was really all about uplifting and bringing the knowledge. Yes, he got caught up in a few things here and there. He was young. Just like any young person would make bad decisions from time to time. However, his overall message and his overall mission was to enlighten and bring people to a higher level of consciousness. And he also wanted to enlighten through telling stories. His stories were designed to make you think, to make you reflect, to make you focus, to empower you, to give you self-confidence, to also allow you to look back on your own mistakes and realize where you messed up, to mourn, to be happy. His lyrics literally had the power to encapsulate every human emotion in a person. He was a powerful being and a powerful figure. And that's why, if you ask, why would he make a Tupac remix YouTube account? This is why. This is why. Because he was amazing. I have a track that just came out. We're going to be dropping tracks every week initially. I have one that just came out. I want to give you guys a sneak peek at this track that just dropped here on this channel. And then we're going to get into his top 20 little known things about Tupac. Things that people, some of you might know, but a lot of you may not know. All right. But just check out this track. Who do you believe in?
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, dear nigga down here, before I believe it. I see mothers in black crying, brothers in packs down, plus everybody's high, too doped up to ask why. Watching our own downfall, witness the end. It's like we don't believe in God, cause we living in sin. I asked my homie on the block why he strapped, he laughed, pointed his pistol as the cop called, past the blast, it's just another murder. Nobody mourns no more, my teardrops getting bigger, but can't figure what I'm crying for. Is it the miniature caskets, little babies, victims of a straight from drug dealers gone crazy? Baby, it's just the drugs, visions of how them block was, crack came and it was strange how it rocked us. Perhaps the underlying facts they hide explain genocide. It's when we ride on our own kind. What is it we all fear? Reflections in the mirror, we can't escape fate. The end is getting nearer. Who do you believe in? I put my faith in God, blessed and still breathing. And even though it's hard, that's who I believe in. Before I'm leaving, the mask and the grieving. Who do you believe in? Who do you believe in? I put my faith in God, blessed and still breathing. And even though it's hard, that's who I believe in. Before I'm leaving, the mask and the grieving. Who do you believe in? My eyes, cause all I see is terror. I hate the man in the mirror, cause his reflection makes the pain turn realer. Times of Armageddon, murder in mass amounts. In a society, we're only getting the cash counts. I started out as a beginner, into the criminal lifestyle, became a sinner. I make my money and vacate, evade prison. Went from the chosen one to outcast, unforgiven. And all the Hennessy and weed can't hide the pain I feel inside, you know. It's like I'm living just to die. I fall on my knees and beg for mercy, not knowing if I'm worthy, living life thinking no man can hurt me. So I'm asking before I lay me down to sleep, before you judge me, look at all the shit you did to me. My misery, I rose up from the slums, made it out the flames in my search for fame. Will I change in the best? Who do you believe in? I put my faith in God, blessed and still breathing. And even though it's hard, that's who I believe in. Before I'm leaving, the mask and the grieving. Who do you believe in? Who do you believe in? I put my faith in God, blessed and still breathing. And even though it's hard, that's who I believe in. Before I'm leaving, the mask and the grieving. Who do you believe in?
Faith in Allah, believe in me and this plastic. Cause so far I done witnessed too many dead niggas in caskets with they chest plates stretched like elastic. And what's worse, I'm on front line, holding down camp, still mashing. Heard my cousin, one of the old heads from the block, just came home October 195 back in Yardsville, stuck with a 3 to 5 if he don't act up. Now he realized if you don't stay wise, then in this game you fuck. Talk to my baby girl, give me the word on what she heard. One of the Bronnies, a snitching diamond, a stew pigeon. I talked to him, he said he didn't. My man said he did. In fact, he's sure, cause he just came home off a bid.
Now tell me, who do you believe in? I put my faith in God, blessed and still breathing. And even though it's hard, that's who I believe in. Before I'm leaving, the mask and the grieving. Who do you believe in? Who do you believe in? I put my faith in God, blessed and still breathing. And even though it's hard, that's who I believe in. Before I'm leaving, the mask and the grieving. Who do you believe in? Who do you believe in?
Who do you believe in? Is it Buddha, Jehovah, or Jah? Or Allah? Is it Jesus? Is it God? Or is it just yourself? Definitely not to be imposed with being a demon, because this is the joy of believing men to believe in yourselves. But for sure, the higher power resides only to ride in the heart of the truth, from the soul of the man. For truth never has an alibi in the poetry or in its realm. That's what pulls all words together, just to understand that every man is his own man. man can satisfy the man. Only the soul of the man, the feelings of the man, the fulfilledness of the man. You can't shake the man when you feel the man. You know the man, and you gotta call yourself because you are that man.
Who do you believe in? Nothing God left just to breathe. Who do you believe in? Who do you believe in? Nothing God. It's hard. Even the last you can breathe. Who do you believe in? Who do you believe in? Bless this new breathing.
Hey, who do you believe in? You know, just a powerful song, powerful track. You can feel the emotion in that song. You can see how deep he was digging into himself, going deep within his own self, trying to figure out what he's doing right and but also where he's going wrong. You know, he's asking a question, who do you believe in? But he's really talking to himself. At the end of the day, he's really talking to him. He's asking himself that question. You know, it's just powerful, man. Just some powerful, powerful stuff. And, you know, and some of these songs I put out, you might like them, you might not, you know, I mean, it's up to the ear of the beholder, right? But, you know, hopefully a lot of them you like, and hopefully there's more that you like than you don't like. But if you guys are vibing with what's going on so far, please follow this account, please subscribe, and please also make sure you click the like button so I can get some positivity going and some good frequencies going in the algorithm. All of the songs that'll be put on here are all 432 hertz, okay, which is a resonant frequency. If you don't understand what the power of 432, let me explain that before I get into the topic. If you listen to regular radio, the regular radio is 440 hertz. Now, decades ago, a very long time ago, they had the music and the radio tuned to 432 because they found out that it resonated properly with the human brainwave and the DNA in the human body. And then unfortunately, when big corporations took over media, they converted the 432 to a 440 standard. And when you look at what 440 hertz does to the human body, to the DNA, and even to brainwaves underneath an EEG and other energy measuring mechanisms, you discover that it begins to destroy you. So a lot of the music that we're listening to is actually harming us. It's harming our health. It's not healthy for our body to take in 440 hertz frequency all the time. So I converted the music back into 432 with the help of Gorilla Tech, my platinum producer. And so all the songs on here are 432 hertz, all resonate with the human resonance of the body, the DNA, the human thought pattern, the thought wave. It's all healthy for you to listen to. If you understand that the 432 is also built into the Great Pyramid at Giza. The Great Pyramid at Giza is 43,200 times scaled down the size of the Earth. If you scale it up 43,200 times, it fits directly inside the Earth and touches all corners on the inside. And so it's interesting that this resonance was known, and the importance of 432 was known back in ancient times. This is one of dozens of accounts that I can go into, but that would take me to a whole nother podcast. But they understood the resonance and the frequency. And so did Dr. Masaru Emoto. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago, but he understood the power of 432 as well. And I was taught by his understudy, and she did very special classes and trainings on the power of 432 on the human body. And so for that reason, all these songs will be 432. Very powerful. All right. So again, thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate you guys so much for taking a chance and just coming over to this channel for the first time. Most of you just to hear. Some of you have been here before. I appreciate you as well. Okay. I'm going to go over this and just read a little bit about Tupac. Tupac Shakur, also known as Tupac and Makaveli, was a highly influential American rapper and actor whose impact on music, culture, and society remained significant decades after his untimely death in 1996. While many aspects of his life and career were well documented, there are numerous lesser-known facts about him that offer a deeper insight into his complex persona and legacy. Here are 20 little-known facts about Tupac Shakur. The first one some of you might have known about his poetry and his passion. Before the famed rapper Tupac died, he was very passionate about poetry. He wrote a collection of poems that were produced posthumously after his death and published as The Rose That Grew from Concrete, which I'm looking forward to working with that material as well very, very soon. The Rose That Grew from Concrete. And the reason why I put that first, because some of you may know about that, but some may not. It really resonates with me a lot because I am a rose that grew from concrete. I actually made a very famous meme years and years ago that has a rose literally that's growing between the cracks in a sidewalk. And I made it into a meme, representing it as my life. And the reason why is because I came from the gutter. I understand the mindset of a person that's suffering financially and emotionally. The area that I grew up in initially was extremely hard, extremely tough. Down in Miami, in Opelika in Miami, it's still a hard place to live till this very day. It's pretty rough. But I recognize that because I remember when I was in school in the 3rd grade at Rainbow Park Elementary, and my teacher told everyone to stand up and say what they wanted to be for a living, what they want to do for a living, what career do you want? And everyone was standing up. I want to be a janitor. I want to be a garbage man. I want to be a postman. I want to be a doctor, the standard things. And I jumped up and said, I want to be famous and be on TV. And she said, oh, Billy, you're never going to be famous and be on TV. Look where you come from. You're too poor. And everyone started laughing at me, And now fast forward, obviously, into the future. I've been on the History Channel, the Travel Channel, the Science Channel, Discovery Channel, Discovery Plus, Gaia TV. Now I'm on my own TV network, Forbidden Knowledge TV. And I've been on so many other shows across the spectrum. Probably now I've been on over 1,000 shows, major podcasts. My collective views on social media have reached over 1 billion between all the clips that people have put up of me. And so obviously, I am that rose in my mind. I'm that rose that grew from the concrete when I was told it couldn't be done. So let's read some more of this. Ballet, acting. Now we know that Tupac did ballet. Well, some of you may not have known, but he did ballet, actual real ballet. There was a show that came out in the 80s called Fame. I don't know if some of y'all have seen the original, not the remake of Fame, but the original Fame. Leroy was like the main dancer in that. That was like Tupac, if you can imagine him jumping around, doing pirouettes and all this stuff. But he was really passionate about the ballet and the acting. And he attended the Baltimore School for Arts, where he took ballet classes and he learned how to write poems. And, it's just incredible. I mean, he became an expert in Shakespeare plays, and he showcases diverse artistic talents there at the Baltimore School for the Performing Arts. Also, Mutulu Shakur's stepson. He was the stepson of Mutulu Shakur, a Black Panther. At that time, the Black Panthers were really being heavily oppressed and attacked. The Black Panthers, in my opinion, were doing a phenomenal job in protecting their communities, providing medication and healthcare opportunities to pregnant women within the community, making sure people had food on their table, and protecting the citizens from thugs. But because they represented a certain level of power and going against the grain, a certain level of being a rebel, they were attacked by the federal government of the United States. And unfortunately, Mutulu Shakur was one of those victims. But Tupac was a stepson of Mutulu Shakur, a former Black Panther Party member who became a convicted felon. In my opinion, not because he committed any real crime, only because he was standing up for what he believed was correct and right. He was also, so that really heavily influenced Tupac's mindset and his political views. he had a very conscious upbringing in the early years before Mutulu was arrested. And it's between his mother and Mutulu, he got to see the real news, not the fake news that they put on TV. He got a good understanding of politricks. I call it politricks, not politics, politricks. A very good understanding of the politricks. He got a good understanding of divide and conquer tactics that are still being used in us today, economic oppression, and so many other aspects of reality in the matrix that we're living in. And so that is what shaped and molded a lot of his idea and perception of the world. Okay. Some of you know that Jada Pinkett Smith's friendship that he had, was real. It really did happen. I know that some people I saw some posts back when the famous slap happened that they were never together or they never talked or whatever, but no, they did. He shared a close friendship with actress Jada Pinkett Smith from her high school days. It was a relationship that kind of remained significant until he passed away or wherever he's at, right? You never really die anyway. You're always immortal. We were immortal before we were even born. We were here before we got here. We're from higher dimensions. We're immortal beings. We don't have to beg and hope and wish for immortality. We are all already immortal. Energy can't be destroyed. It can only be transformed. So, but he did really have that relationship. It was real. And then before his solo career, Tupac was a member of Digital Underground. He was actually a roadie for Digital Underground. He was a dancer, background dancer, a hype guy. He would kind of chime in on the hook every now and then. But that's how he got his start. Digital Underground gave him a chance to come on tour with them as a roadie, but they began to realize, this guy's got real talent. But he was a member of that group. And, before you know it, they started saying, we got to give this guy a chance. And eventually they gave him a chance to do a song on the album. And they realized, man, his talent was far exceedingly higher than theirs were. And they realized they had a real talent on their hands. The guy was just brilliant. And they were literally, had him doing roadie work, but they had a diamond in the rough. Tupacalypse Now. His debut album, Tupacalypse Now, sparked controversy and was criticized by Vice President Dan Quayle due to its socially conscious lyrics, which Quayle believed incited violence. And they tried to rip his first album down. They tried to take it down. We almost didn't get blessed with the continuance of Tupacalypse Now. They tried to actually take government action to remove that album from all store shelves. Remember back then it wasn't digital yet. Everything was on real albums, real wax, real CDs, real silicone disc, right? And they tried everything they could though. They really wanted to remove it and erase him because they knew who he was. They knew he was a son of a Black Panther, being his mom and his stepdad being one. They knew that his lyrics were powerful. And it wasn't that they were worried that he was going to incite violence. They was worried that he was going to wake people up. And that's the last thing they wanted was people waking up to realize what really was going on. Because you want to keep people, when they're in these impoverished neighborhoods, you want to keep them distracted with bills and debt and poverty and lack of food and lack of resources. Let's be honest. The only reason why we're fighting each other in those areas, in those communities, is because of a lack of resources and economic oppression. It's like a battle for survival. Other than that, outside of that reason, there's no other reason that people are battling and fighting each other. You take a whole bunch of rats and put them in a tiny cage and don't give them any food, they're going to attack each other and try to eat each other. Well, that's kind of what happens. And waking people up begins to allow them to see themselves for who they truly are. They begin to realize we're not animals. We're human beings, but we're being treated like animals. Bringing them to another level of organization where they can organize and plan. That was the real fear. He became a social activist. Tupac was deeply involved in advocating for social justice and often spoke out against inequality, police brutality, and the struggles in the African American community. If you can remember that one time he saw somebody getting abused and beat by cops. Like, he didn't know they were cops. He just saw 2 against 1. He pulled out his gun. He ordered them to stop. These cops, which were in plain clothes, did not state they were cops. They didn't say, hey, this is a case or anything like that. This guy's being detained, nothing. And they continued to pummel this guy. So he pulled out his gun and started firing shots at them to protect this citizen, which is why he won the case in court. So he shot cops and got away with it because he had a legitimate reason. But this is the kind of guy he was. He wasn't going to walk down the street and see somebody getting taken advantage of and allow it to continue to happen. See? So then also, we know that he survived 5 bullets. In 1994, Tupac survived an attempted robbery in which he was shot 5 times, fueling the East Coast, West Coast rap rivalry. And that thing still haunts me till this very day. The fact that how it happened, where it happened, he was going to go to the studio. They knew he was coming. It was a setup. So somebody had foreknowledge of him getting ready to arrive at that place at that particular time. And it was an assassination attempt made to look like a robbery. It wasn't a robbery. It was an assassination attempt. Fortunately for him, he survived 5 shots. He lost 1 testicle and took a lot of bullets in the body, which it's incredible how he was able to even survive that. Now, his time in prison, he served time in prison in 1995 on sexual assault charges, during which he was released in he released a multi-platinum album at that time, Me Against the World. So while he was locked up, he released an album that went multi-platinum, making him the first artist to have an album at #1 on the Billboard 200 while incarcerated. And I can never forget that album, Me Against the World. It just, every single song resonated with me 1,000%. And even the reason why he was incarcerated was a complete setup. In my personal opinion, he never committed the acts that were stated against him, but that's a whole nother podcast. Either way, no other rapper has ever released an album while in prison and went platinum. It hasn't happened. Hadn't happened since, and I don't think it's going to happen ever again. He adopted the alias Makaveli from the Renaissance philosopher Niccolo Machiavelli. Okay, that's where he got the name Makaveli from, who advocated cunning and duplicity in politics. This was seen as a symbol of a new persona and a new outlook on life. It was like he was transferring himself out of being Tupac into this new Machiavellian identity. And it was an identity that was like charades. I believe that Machiavelli even faked his own death. Kind of a precursor to what may have happened to Tupac, or maybe not. After being bailed out of prison by Suge Knight, the CEO of Death Row, Tupac signed with the label and released a diamond-certified double album called All Eyes on Me. And that album shook the world, literally shook the world. It's still shaking the world to this very day. And then after he died, he had 7 albums. Since his death, 7 albums were released, all of which became certified platinum. 7 albums. Do you know how many songs that is that this man had in queue? It was said that he would walk into the studio and he would just spit on the mic and just drop lyrics, and he would just stay in there. Even if the people wanted to go home, he would stay there and just keep tweaking and fine-tuning and working and grinding to produce these incredible works of art that he had. Some may have not remembered this, but he starred in a movie with Janet Jackson in 1993, Poetic Justice. And Poetic Justice, you know, it was an incredible movie. I thought it was pretty good. It was a nice movie. PG level movie that a family could watch. And he got to showcase his talent for acting and interacting on stage or on a sound stage in Hollywood. And I thought that was a really good look for Tupac. And I saw at that time that he did that movie, I felt like this guy was going to be really, really big in movies. All types of movies, action movies, sci-fi movies, ghetto movies. I saw that he had a range that he can actually occupy. It wasn't just going to be a street thug. He could be anything. In that movie, he was a postman. The FBI released files on Tupac revealing that they were monitoring him due to his family's connections to the Black Panther Party and his influence in the community. So the FBI declassified documents show that they had been watching him and following him and monitoring him as if he was coming out here to change the world, which in actuality, that's exactly what he was trying to do. That's what he wanted to do. Like I said, he was young. Did he get caught up in some foolishness and some bickering back and forth with some stuff and some dumb stuff? Yeah, like all kids would do. But at the end of the day, his overall message, he was trying to find a way to reach the minds of the youth and change the way they perceive their reality. He showed versatility in music. He was known for his versatility by effortlessly blending elements of rap, soul, and poetry into his work. The guy was a real poet, not just a street rapper. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2017. Finally, I was waiting for that day. I was waiting. When are they going to give this man his flowers? In 2017, Tupac got his flowers as he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, highlighting his enduring influence on music and culture. He also had a heavy educational influence. Numerous academic courses and books analyzed Tupac's lyrics and his impact. I'm talking about actual academic courses in universities that break down this man's lyrics and his impact on people's minds, illustrating that his role was cultural and intellectual, that he was an actual icon, okay? Think about that. This man had actual academic courses. People have academic courses breaking down his words. His legacy includes the Tupac Shakur Foundation, founded by his mother to provide art programs for young people, which is still operating till this very day. And it's helped many dozens and dozens of youth, if not hundreds by now. His name, Tupac Amaru, is derived from Tupac Amaru II, an 18th century political leader in Peru who was executed after leading an indigenous uprising against Spanish rule. His name itself empowered and embodied rebellion against the status quo. That became his mantra. His own name is who he actually became. So powerful. If you look up the image of Tupac Amaru, you'll see that he's wearing a huge medallion. And Tupac, our Tupac, he had a replica of that in gold, of course, but a replica of that same medallion that he wore sometimes as well. So, of course, despite numerous theories and investigations in the murder, they're finally now just getting to the person that might have been the culprit for that murder. He actually went on a podcast. I forget the gentleman's name. He went on a podcast recently, within last year, and stated that he was in the car when the trigger was pulled to shoot Tupac in Las Vegas. And then from there, that information got to the FBI and the police. They got a search warrant, searched his house. All these years later, he had the murder weapon in his house, right? Keefe D, I think his name was. He had the murder weapon in his house. So finally, maybe we'll see some justice come down on the murder of Tupac. So Tupac Shakur's life was a blend of contradiction because of some of the trouble that he did get into, from his sensitivity as a poet to his toughness as a rapper, from his advocacy for peace to his enrollment in conflict. These lesser-known facts offer a small glimpse into the multifaceted Tupac Shakur. And so just a little tidbit I want to drop on you guys. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of your time tonight, this evening, take away all your time rambling, but just a little insight as to why I created this channel. As you know, I have many YouTube accounts. I have Forbidden Knowledge account. I have Forbidden Clips. I have Forbidden Knowledge Espanol, Billy Carson Official, Elizabeth Carson account. And now we have the Tupac Remix Vault as well. But I'm looking forward to bringing my best quality 432 Hertz productions to this platform with some new songs from Tupac. When I say new, because we may do some cool things with the songs. We may mix two songs together on a nice beat, a nice production. Just give you something new to vibe to from time to time. All right, but still keeping the same energy and the vibration that he was already in. We're not looking to rob that or take that away. We just want to give you something else because it's been so many years. We've heard the songs over and over again, but maybe we can hear them from a slightly different perspective and get that nostalgia back again. Bring those memories back, bring the inspiration back again. That's what it's all about, all right? So thank you for taking the time. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. And please share the Tupac Remix Vault with all of your friends and family, all right? I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. And thank you so much. And by the way, shout out to Tandlin. I saw Tandlin in the live chat. She went to Egypt with us last year. We look forward to hopefully seeing her again very, very soon. All right. Love you guys. Peace.